This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to the South today. I'm Daryl Baser. New Zealand is now at Alert Level 3 status in the fight to stop the spread of the coronavirus known as COVID-19. Many businesses have reopened, operating in a non-contact way. We at Allied Press thank you for your viewership, readership and understanding at this time as New Zealand enters the first week at Level 3. At this afternoon's media announcement, Director to General of Health Ashley Bloomfield says today's figures make for good reading.
So today I have two new COVID-19 cases to report. One is a new confirmed case that is in quarantine in Auckland associated with international travel, and one is a probable case that is associated with an existing case. That is a close contact of an existing case. In addition to this, we have also reclassified a previous probable case as confirmed. This is an historic one. It actually dates from earlier in April, and it's just been updated in our EpiServe database as confirmed. So therefore, whilst the net increase today was 2 cases, our new total confirmed cases is 1,126, and for probable cases it is 348. Which is the same as yesterday. Our total combined confirmed and probable cases is therefore 1,474. We report the confirmed case number to WHO and will continue to do so. That is the 1,126. Pleased to say no additional deaths to report today, and we have 6 people in hospital, none of whom are in intensive care.
I want to start by reminding people in the same way that Dr. Bloomfield has that we are not out of the woods yet. While our case numbers remain low, we will still have cases, and we have seen with our large clusters in New Zealand that it only takes one person to potentially affect many. With that in mind, we continue to take a firm stance with the enforcement of rules at Level 3. This is our waiting room, and so we need to make sure that we're vigilant in the way that we treat it. The rules are ultimately in place for a reason, and that reason is to keep us safe, but to also move us as quickly as we can into other alert levels.
And stay tuned to Channel 39 to see today's full announcement. Golfers have flocked to the fairways around Dunedin following the country's shift to Alert Level 3, meaning golf is allowed. The Otago Golf Club says lockdown gave the course its first 5-week break in more than 100 years.
Nestled in the Dunedin suburb of Balmacewen, the Otago Golf Club was established in 1871, making it the oldest in the Southern Hemisphere. And thanks to the recent lockdown, the course is looking better than ever.
I think the amazing thing about all this is the golf course has never had a 5-week rest in over 100 years. So divots have repaired, pitch marks have repaired, fairways are like carpet, greens are good, and your golfers are itching to get out there.
When the club became aware of the lockdown approaching, caretakers applied regulator to stop the grass on the fairways from growing too much. And the greens encountered some disease, but that's now been taken care of, and players are making good use of their newfound freedoms on the course while still following social distancing rules.
It's pretty exciting. We'll probably get as many people here as we get on a normal Wednesday, around 100 and 120 people, but the difference is it's spread out from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. So mainly playing in 1s and 2s. There's the odd bubble that's got 3 people in it, and that's legitimate.
Duncan says the club is making sure that contact tracing can be done for everyone who turns up at the course.
I think this is contact tracing is with us for a long time now, so everyone just is getting used to it and grinning and bearing it because they want to be here and they want to be playing golf.
In Dunedin, the South today.
Staff and patients were evacuated from Dunedin Hospital's Clinical Services building after smoke was detected earlier today. A Fire and Emergency New Zealand spokesperson says crews from across the city were called to the hospital around 10 a.m where they found smoke inside the building. Fire and Emergency says it appears a heating unit malfunctioned, melting some plastic and causing smoke and a pungent smell inside the building. He says staff and patients in the affected area were evacuated, but by early afternoon were all back inside. State Highway 1 northbound was closed for a time, but has since reopened. As New Zealanders start to get used to life under Alert Level 3, ODT Director of Video News Tim Miller talks with Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins about what the change in levels means for the council and the city.
With New Zealand moving into Alert Level 3 yesterday, I speak to Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins about the work the council's doing and when we can expect to see the city back up and running. We've moved into Level 3 now nationally. What's changed for the council in terms of what it's doing from Level 4 to Level 3?
So a number of things have changed. Probably the two most significant are the resumption of glass recycling collection, and it certainly sounded like a backlog was being cleared up in City Rise yesterday when I was in town. So glass recycling is being picked up this week. People can still use the yellow bin for waste this week and next week, but from the 11th will only be available for a recycling collection. As well as that, we've restarted maintenance programs, if you like. So we've got people out mowing sports fields and clearing autumnal detritus and doing road maintenance and some road works and things from minor repairs through to major projects like the Peninsula Connection and those sorts of things have started again this week. So those are probably the big things. Some other stuff around building inspectors can now do on-site inspections for non-essential work. Our mountain bike tracks are open again to both mountain bikers and walkers, but by and large, most things remain the same as they did under Level 4, and certainly we were never anticipating opening council public facilities like libraries and swimming pools and galleries and museums until Level 2. So currently we're doing the planning work to make sure that when we get to that situation, those facilities are set up in a way that people can use them safely as soon as they can.
And next week, the first council meeting since the lockdown starts, what's on the agenda for that?
So we'll have a few things on the agenda. There are reports from myself and from the Chief Executive at both a political and operational level, looking at what the response to COVID-19 has been and how we are responding to that, and also setting some direction between then and the end of May, when we will deliberate and make decisions on the annual plan, which is next year's budget. But the agenda for that comes out today, and it will be the first digital meeting of the Dunedin City Council, and so that's not without its logistical challenges, but we will be streaming the meeting for people who want to watch it. Obviously, we can't invite people in to the public gallery in the way that we have become accustomed at the municipal chambers, but we're not anticipating having face-to-face meetings of council or council committees until at least Level 2, and even then we need to do some work around where those meetings might be held so that we can do them in a way that elected members and staff can keep whether it's 2 metres or 1 metre distance from each other, which isn't something our current meeting arrangement is particularly supportive of.
And then on the day after the annual plan hearings start is the idea of it, the impact of what happened over the past 5 weeks and beyond. Is that starting to take shape of what the plan might look like for this year?
So the hearings next week are the opportunity that members of the public have or local community groups have to come and talk to us about things that are important to them, what they value, and in a situation like we are currently in, where we are more financially constrained than we had otherwise anticipated, and knowing what is important to our community and what they value is incredibly important. But the work going on to bring back revised budgets, revised assumptions around both the expenditure and revenue. That work is ongoing, and we'll report back to the deliberations meeting at the end of May. And of course, the later we get that information, the more useful it will be, because we'll have a clearer line of sight, hopefully, around what the implications of the current situation will be, both on this financial year and next year. But next week's hearings are really just the standard opportunity that people have had every year to come and speak to their submissions. We've had something like 900 submissions, I understand, on the annual plan, and about 100 of those will be joining us virtually to present to Council from Tuesday morning.
And will anybody be able to watch those? Will they be open to the public?
Yeah, as we always do with council meetings, whether they're committee meetings or council meetings or public hearings, we will be recording them, and we're currently looking at options for how they might be broadcast online or on television as close to the meeting as possible. But this is new territory for all of us, and so we're currently navigating some of the technical aspects of that. But people will still have the opportunity to see people presenting to their submissions.
And last week, the council, along with the Chamber of Commerce and Allied Press, launched the Dunedin Business Directory. What was the thinking behind that? What pushed that?
So it's not a new idea. Similar things exist in other parts of the country, but it seemed to me, particularly as we went into level 3, where more businesses have been able to open or pivot their operating model in such a way that they can open safely and trade, that having a resource where they can register who they are, what they're doing, when they're open, with a public who are looking to support local businesses, seemed like a simple solution. So it's free for businesses to register. There's about 500 of those at present registered. We've had about 20,000 page views, I think, since it launched on Thursday, which tells me that there is an appetite, obviously, for businesses to want to promote what they are currently doing, because it's been a tough few weeks, but also a great deal of interest from our community in wanting to support local businesses more than ever. And I think that's heartening. If ever there was a time to be parochial about who you are supporting and where you are spending your money, this is it, because it's been hard for people who haven't been able to trade, and it's not going to get it's not going to get much easier for many sectors of our local economy for quite some time. So it's more important than ever that we support people who are open for business currently. There's no single solution to these sorts of things. We need as many options as we can, I think, to support our business community through what has been a very turbulent period. And
were you lined up outside your favourite cafe yesterday, or McDonald's, or waiting for them to open? I had my coffee order in on Monday evening for morning tea on Tuesday morning. The 35-day period between drinks took some toll on my tolerance. It has to be said, it was the best part of a day before that had worked its way through the system. But yeah, it's good to have some of our local hospitality outlets being able to trade in this environment, and not having to cook for ourselves as an added bonus after spending so much time in lockdown as we have. And moving into level 3, has the role of the mayor changed in any aspect? Are you moving out more into the city, or come into office or anything like that? No, we're still working from home. I certainly am, and council laws are. We can work remotely, and the advice has been pretty clear from government that people who can work from home should, and children who can stay at home and learn at home should. So no, I wouldn't envisage holding any face-to-face meetings of council or council committees, at least until we're in level 2. We'll make that decision when we see what the guidelines are for operating in that environment. But certainly, in terms of how we are operating as governors, there's very little difference between this week and last week. And do you have any message for Dunedinites for the next 2 weeks under level 3?
Don't get too carried away would be my advice. I think the fact that we have gotten on top of this, not just in Dunedin and our district, but around the country from a public health perspective, is testament to how seriously people have taken this and how hard we have worked up until this point to get on top of this. Now that there are more people going to work and there is greater flexibility in how we can move around in our own districts in this particularly fine weather we've been having, there is a risk that we get complacent and should the situation flare up again, we'll end up back in lockdown, and that is a situation both socially and economically that we would find difficult to deal with, I think. So don't blow it would be my advice, and still, unless you are going to and from work or getting your exercise or collecting essential supplies, please do stay at home as much as you can and stick to your own neighbourhoods as much as we can, so that we can get through into something more resembling normal life through level 2 and beyond.
Well, thank you for your time today, Mayor Hawkins.
Thanks, Tim.
Time now for a look at the weather. Beginning with the situation, it's set to be warm for a few more days as the northerly airflow dominates our weather patterns. But the inevitable change to colder southwesterlies is set to arrive on Sunday, with some snow on the hills during Monday. In the southern towns, the Catlins, Barclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all due for freshening northerlies and high cloud, with positively balmy temperatures of 18 degrees for all of you. Heading over to the Central Lakes, Wanaka and Queenstown are headed for light northeasterlies with some cloud and 19 degrees. Alexandra is similar, but one warmer on 20. While Te Anau can expect freshening northerlies, cloud increasing and rain later with 16 degrees. The northern towns on the coast are the place to be tomorrow. Timaru and Oamaru are due for light northeasterlies and some high cloud. Timaru aims for 20 and Oamaru 19 degrees. While inland, Twizel and Omarama are both in line for light winds, clear blue skies, Twizel 21 and Omarama 20 degrees. In Dunedin, it'll be mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Fine and mild with high cloud tomorrow and northerly winds. Expect a high of 18 and a low of 11. Sunny periods at first on Friday, but high cloud increases during the day with moderate northeasterlies. A high of 17 and a low of 9 degrees. And heading to Invercargill, cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Northerly winds becoming fresh and gusty tomorrow with cloud increasing. Expect some showers developing at night. A high of 16 and a low of 10 degrees. It'll be cloudy on Friday with a few scattered showers at first and more persistent rain developing during the afternoon. Expect a high of 16 and a low of 12. And that's all from the South Today team for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. And stay tuned to Channel 39 for the latest COVID-19 updates from the government. Although many stores are open, remember your social distancing and safe coughing. Ka kite a popo. See you tomorrow.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.